everyone, myself Kumar Ujjwal, and we are going to discuss PSIR, that is Political Science and International Relation, with question and answer, Q&A format. In every class, I will be discussing about the approach, how you should approach this particular optional. In earlier class also I discussed that, and I would like to add further that in this optional you have to maintain a order for your studies, and first you have to finish Western political thinkers, then political ideologies with suffix ism, then political theories of state, sovereignty, liberty, equality, justice, rights, sovereignty, and then only you come to Indian political thinkers and so on, IGP, national movement and constitution, then informal processes of Indian politics, including social movement and planning and all those pressure groups and political process in third world countries, and then behavioralism, which has to be applied in second paper also. In most of the optional, first paper mainly consists of theories and second paper is applied, but this is not watertight compartmentalization. Let me tell you, in second paper also, you have various theories of international relation like idealist theory, realist theory, functionalist theory, a neo-realist theory, then games theory, system theory, structural functional model, cybernetic model. So you have to keep this thing in mind, that you have to maintain a particular order. And let me tell you before discussing the question again, because our approach in this particular format is to cover the syllabus of political science with the help of the questions which have been asked by UPSC. And we will discuss the next political thinker, Aristotle. Before that, I would like to again clarify that many students get materials or in books and they start finishing books and materials. You have not to finish the books, you have to finish the syllabus, defined syllabus. In civil services, you have GS, not GK. Besides optional, you have GS with defined syllabus, not GK with undefined syllabus, more based on concepts. In optional, like political science and international relation, unless you have firm footing on the theory part, you cannot go ahead. Superficial information and facts and data will be of no use. So, just coming to that point directly, that next question. In last class we discussed about Plato, means it was the question asked by UPSC. In this, the question is inequality everywhere. Inequality everywhere is the cause of revolution. Inequality everywhere is the cause of revolution. This is the statement of Aristotle. And let me remind you, question says comment. This is very much important. It's not that you are just seeing the question and start writing. Without understanding the demand of the question, the demand of the question is comment. In earlier class, I discussed about Plato's question. On that, the tag word of the question was discuss. but here comment. In comment, you have not only to elaborate and clarify this statement, but you have to be critical as well. You have to show the limitations of the given statement as well. And the most strategic question of all is that of comment. You are commenting, means you are not referring and elaborating this, but you are commenting. Once you comment, then you have to link its relevance with the present and on over the period of time. So you are commenting. Commentaries are being there by various scholars on great thoughts. So now you are being asked to comment. It's true that many times you will be referring to other thinkers who have commented on this statement, but at the same time there is imprint of your thought here also. Your thought means not arbitrary, random, which are universally accepted one. So I always emphasize that without understanding the demand of the question and without understanding the contents of the question given and keywords mentioned in the question, you cannot write a good answer. So question says inequality everywhere, and question is of Aristotle. You know, Aristotle was in 4th century BC, precisely 384 BC to 322 BC. He was disciple of Plato, and he was guru of Alexander the Great, Sikandar, and father of political science. This is the background, just for acquaintance. You are not exactly writing. First I am elaborating on the things of understanding, then we will be writing the ideal answer. So you know the Aristotle, father of political science, and here you have not to write essay on Aristotle. Question is very specific. Inequality everywhere is the cause of revolution. This is a statement of Aristotle. So you must be knowing that what revolution meant for Aristotle, not general definition of revolution. Even general definition of revolution had certain modification and changes after industrial revolution. Earlier it was thought that revolution happens in a small span of time, but industrial revolution was ongoing. And all ordinary changes are not called revolution. Radical change, comprehensive change, which impact all sphere of life, which has impact worldwide, that qualified to be called revolution. But let me remind you, you have to know the notion of revolution, Aristotelian notion of revolution, not general one. So you must be knowing that Aristotle used revolution in two senses. One, change of rulers without change of constitution. Change of rulers, no change in form of government or constitution. As you know, Aristotle studied and classified 158 kinds of government and constitution, and one of the most popular classification was that of normal and perverted monarchy, aristocracy, polity, and counterpart of monarchy in perverted form, tyranny. Counterpart of aristocracy in perverted form was oligarchy, and counterpart of polity was democracy. So change of rulers, that is, if there is monarchical form of government, only ruler change and form of government remains same, that is monarchical. if there is oligarchy. The form of government remains oligarchy, only oligarchs change, rulers change. And second sense in which Aristotle used the word revolution was change of form of government or constitution. No change in rulers, while rulers remain the same. This is a specific Aristotelian definition of revolution. So, revolution in Aristotelian scheme of things is clear. And Aristotle says that no form of government is everlasting or permanent. There is cycle of change of government. Polity, oligarchy, democracy, a tyranny. So there is cycle of change of government. Although polity is more durable, according to Aristotle, polity is the best and most practicable form of government, and it is more durable than others, but it's also not everlasting. It's not eternal. Because power corrupts power holders. And if power holders are being corrupted, then they are subject to be changed through revolution. So, you must have understanding of this particular thing of revolution. These are the key words. Whenever you see a question, to write exact, clinically accurate answer, what is required? You have to see the demand of the question through tag word, whether it's comment, whether it's discuss, whether it's explain, whether it's illustrate, whether it's examine, and underlining the keyword revolution, inequality everywhere. So, revolution is clear. In Aristotelian scheme of things, I repeat, it's not a general definition of revolution. Aristotelian notion of revolution. So, how this is linked? That how inequality will cause revolution. So, first we have to understand revolution, that this is called what revolution is. But why revolution? That also need to be understood. And as far as Aristotle is concerned, Aristotle gave two reasons for revolution, two causes broadly, two broad causes of revolution. According to Aristotle, because we have not to miss the thinker, his perspective, his thought, his condition, his time, pre-Christian period, 4th century BC, ancient Greek city-states, at that point of time. So, Aristotle, you have not to forget, because it is Aristotelian statement. So, two broad causes of revolution according to Aristotle. One is general cause of revolution. General cause of revolution. I am not writing answer, let me clarify again. First, you must have understanding of the question given. So, we are discussing understanding part, and once it will be completed, I will be writing ideal answer or giving format of the ideal answer. So, general cause and particular causes. This is in plural, this is in singular. Particular causes of revolution. So, as far as general cause of revolution is concerned, Aristotle says lack of proportional equality. Lack of proportional equality was responsible for general cause, which is general cause of revolution. And Aristotelian concept of equality and justice, they are interlinked. When we say proportional equality, we have to discuss also proportional justice, because that system is unstable, that political system is unstable, which lacks highest standard or higher standard of justice. So what is needed is you have to understand that what is proportional equality. It's not absolute equality, it's not literal equality, it's not numerical equality. In one line, Aristotle has explained this. Proportional equality means treating equals equally and unequals unequally. Treating equals equally and unequals unequally. Treating equals equally and unequals unequally. Because people are unequal in their needs, ability and capacity. Needs, ability and capacity. More needy should get more. If more needy gets more, people don't question it. People don't object it. Even today, if people below poverty line, they are getting subsidy, they are getting the benefits of positive discrimination, then it is justified as they are more needy. But at the same time, Aristotle talks about ability also. Those who are more able, those who have more capacity, they should also get more. Ability in Aristotelian scheme of things is defined in terms of merit, not talent. So you must understand, it is different from Plato's scheme of things. All the question is regarding Aristotle, but I am contrasting it for your better understanding that merit is different from that of talent. Talent is based on desert, that is deserving. One gets what one deserves. So what one deserves is may be based on the past contribution. But merit is a progressive concept. It is a social concept. Merit is what is serving at present the social utility. Even if you might be studying that UPSC is the guardian of merit system. So merit, Aristotle is talking about merit, while Plato talked about that of talent. So in Aristotelian scheme of things, lack of proportional equality, Aristotle is more specific about political offices. People are always envy of undue privileges given to others. Undue means what? One who is not needy, one who is not able, one who is lacking merit. If they are getting more, then people will never accept it and will rise for revolution against this. So Aristotle is talking about particularly political offices. If there is favoritism, if there is a nepotism, if undue people or those who are not deserving or those who are not meritorious, those who are not needy, they are getting more, people will not accept. Treating equals equally and unequals unequally. So this is the general cause of revolution, and this is concerned with distributive justice. Aristotle classified justice also into two parts: complete justice, which was possible only in ideal state, then particular justice, which is having two further parts. One is distributive justice, another is corrective justice. Distribution of what? Distribution of public goods, distribution of social goods which are limited. while claims of it are many, like wealth, resources, means of power, prestige, honor. These are limited, while claims are many. So how to settle those claims amicably? That principle is followed, that distribution should be as per needs, ability and capacity. And ability, I will clarify that ability is in terms of merit, not the talent. And Aristotle, as I said, was more concerned with political offices, because political offices are deciding the things at the top and they are always under public gaze. So the things there are more visible. We'll be seeing that whenever there is a reshuffle in ministry, the people are always watching it with more curiosity. Even today, in past Modi government's reshuffling of cabinet. So if those non-meritorious people are getting undue privilege, people will be objecting to it. Those who are deserving, those who are having merit, they are getting, then nobody will question it. So this is general cause of revolution. This is mainly dealing with the distributive justice. That distribution should be as per needs, ability and capacity. This is general cause of revolution. As far as particular causes of revolution, there are many. And these causes of revolution you might have been seeing in all countries, in all times, like first, corruption. Corruption is the cause of discontentment, that is use of public office for private gains. Maladministration is another reason for revolution. Excessive use of force. Excessive use of force, because if there is excessive use of force, with the passage of time, its legitimacy erodes, its authority erodes, its effectiveness comes down and people become rebellion, people revolt against it. Or non-fulfillment of basic needs, non-fulfillment of basic needs. If people are not getting food, shelter, cloth, then primarily they blame government for it. Then unscrupulous means for winning election, unscrupulous or unfair means or illegal means to get political power, to get political power. There are n number of reasons. Sometimes rulers neglect minor changes which may have wider ramifications, that become also cause of revolution. And many times you will see Aristotle, according to Aristotle, if outsiders or foreigners are being given too many political posts, or they are given more patronage or preference in government jobs, the local people get discontented, and this is another cause, particular cause of revolution. Then Aristotle talked also about another cause of the revolution, excessive influx of immigrants, changing demography of the existing city-state will also make people discontented and they will be revolting against this. So there can be n number of reasons, nepotism, favoritism, and we have seen this in almost all revolutions. In even modern times, be it Glorious Revolution 1688 in England, be it American Revolution 1776, be it French Revolution 1789, be it Bolshevik Revolution 1917. So these factors are common, that is there from the time of Aristotle. Many times the secret things of rulers are being exposed, their misdeeds are being exposed, then people all in sudden go against it and they revolt against it, and they go for revolution. Although in modern times, we distinguish between revolution, revolt, mutiny and ordinary changes. But I remind you again that we are discussing Aristotle's statement, his scheme of things. So for him, change of rulers is also revolution. For him, change of government and form of constitution is also revolution. So we are discussing that. So this is general cause of revolution. These are the particular causes of revolution. Now, the question is, the inequality everywhere is the cause of revolution. Inequality everywhere is the cause of revolution. So that what Aristotle talked about, and now you must have understanding of it further, that general cause of revolution and particular causes of revolution both are being mentioned here. And now we will be discussing that revolution is mostly where there is huge inequality. To further elaborate this, Aristotle further clarified that if rich are knowing how to rule, but they don't know how to be ruled. They are arrogant, they are inflexible, they are rigid. Poor know how to be ruled, but they don't know how to rule. But middle class know both how to rule and how to be ruled. So Aristotle favored that a society which is having more middle class than rich and poor to get taken together will be moderate society, because middle class periodically know how to rule and how to be ruled. They are periodically flexible, they are periodically assertive, which is not the feature of rich and poor. Poor are slavish and submissive. They don't know how to rule. Rich are inflexible, rigid, arrogant. They know how to rule, but they don't know how to be ruled. So middle class. So this is how Aristotle again explains that a society which is having more middle class or larger middle class is more progressive and stable, while too many rich or too many poor shows too much inequality. And this was evident, this Aristotelian thought is evident from the fact that most of the revolution in Western world were led by middle class, be it Glorious Revolution, be it Industrial Revolution, be it American Revolution, be it French Revolution, they were mostly led by middle class. The exception is Bolshevik Revolution, that was led by lower class. But this has proved to be right as well. So Aristotle is talking about this. One more addition you must be knowing, that Aristotle is, whenever talking about equality, he is not talking about equality of all persons. No. Aristotle was very harsh in conferring citizenship. So you have to refer to the concept of citizenship as well when we discuss this particular question. The reason I am telling you, because Aristotle gave citizenship to a handful of people. Those who were mentally and physically inferior, they were denied citizenship. Women, children, old age people, non-Greeks, artisans, craftsmen, farmers, laborers, they were all denied citizenship. So whenever he talked about equality, because citizenship itself involves, what is the definition of citizenship? Full and equal membership of a political community. So when he talk about citizenship, He talks about equality among citizens, not all persons or residents. To clarify further, Aristotle said that slaves were living tools, not human beings. Slaves were living tools. They were not proper human beings. So this point has to be clarified, because whenever we talk equality in modern sense, like if we talk in terms of Indian constitution, it will be quite different. But Aristotelian concept of equality is among citizens, because citizenship itself involves full and equal membership of a political community with allegiance, with corresponding rights and duties. So now you have understanding of the question. Question says inequality everywhere is the cause of revolution. Aristotle comment. But let me again clarify that question is comment. So first paragraph in 200 words would be dealing with that part which Aristotle said. Then you have to comment, means you have to be critical. Critical means limitations of the statement. It's not that question is given and you accept that statement as absolute truth and you are giving all arguments in favor of that statement. That is explain, that is discuss, not comment. So you have to explain that statement of Aristotle in comment, but by changing paragraph, however, by writing however, there is another side of the coin also. There is limitation of this statement also. You have to highlight the limitations of the existing statement also. Then only you will be able to write the exact answer. So I hope you have understood the question, you have understood the all concepts and key concepts of the question given, not the Aristotle as a whole. Because Aristotle as an organic thinker, Aristotle as a father of political science, Aristotle using inductive method, scientific method, Aristotle as a realist, Aristotle favoring slavery, Aristotle against communism of wives and property, Aristotle on ideal state. Those things are not being asked. Aristotle dividing society into 6 classes. So many things in Aristotle are there. Aristotle on justice, Aristotle on revolution. In revolution, this question is regarding revolution. Aristotle on cycle of change of government. So many things are there. Classification of form of government, they are being referred. But here 2 key words in the question are inequality and revolution. These are the key words you have to pick. How inequality everywhere causes revolution. What is revolution is clear. What are the 2 broad causes of revolution? General cause and particular causes. And you have to see what is numerical equality, what is proportional equality, how this concept is linked with justice. Again, here the word state is not there, but in all political studies, state has to be mentioned in one way or the other. And another implied thing in this question is justice. Because proportional justice, proportional equality, they are synonymously used by Aristotle. So they are implied part of the question asked, they are explicit part of the question given. First, you simplify the question, see the keyword and have understanding, have the knowledge, then presentation part comes. Now I hope you have understood what is inequality according to Aristotle. Inequality among whom? Inequality, which kind of inequality, that is proportional equality. And what was the focus of Aristotle on that inequality? That people are jealous or envy of mostly political offices which are distributed to in such a manner which is not serving the needy or not serving the merit. So Aristotle, these are the keywords. Now you will be able to write the ideal answer. I will start. I hope you have understood the question well. Now, how you will write this answer of this particular question? So, I always recommend that you start with the time and space of the thinker given. Aristotle of 4th century BC, of Greek city-state, gave the concept of revolution which was caused due to inequality. First you have to explain that. First paragraph, you have to explain that this statement, that how inequality cause revolution. So you will be writing that Aristotle of pre-Christian period of 4th century BC highlighted inequality, first line. Second, Aristotle talked about proportional equality or proportional justice, which is different from numerical equality. Then another line, in proportional equality, he says that equals to be treated equally and unequals to be treated unequally. Then you have to write that unequals part, you have to elaborate on that, that all are not unequals, all are not equal in terms of their needs, ability and capacity. So Aristotle in his distributive justice highlighted the distribution of public goods or social goods, namely wealth, resources, political offices, means of power, prestige, which are limited and claims for it are many, to be distributed in such a way that as per needs, ability and capacity. Then you have to clarify that in proportional justice, more needy gets more able gets more. And you have to clarify that ability in Aristotelian scheme of things means merit, in contrast to talent or desert of Plato. In contrast, because merit, this is a specific concept of Aristotle. So this is how you have explained this. And lack of proportional equality caused revolution, and Aristotle clarified and saw revolution in two senses. In one, change of rulers without change of form of government. Another, change of form of government or constitution without change of rulers. And Aristotle gave two broad causes, general cause and particular causes. Lack of proportional equality is the general cause of revolution, because people don't accept non-deserving or non-meritorious people to get more. People are always in view of the undue privileges given. What is undue? That if it is given on favoritism, if it is given to outsiders, foreigners, if it is given as a matter of favor rather than ability, then this becomes general cause of revolution. that lack of proportional equality. However, you have to add that Aristotle taught this among citizens, not among all, because Aristotle was very niggard in conferring citizenship. And another particular causes, although there are so many particular causes, but question is of 200 words. So I have to write in one line that Aristotle gave so many reasons for particular causes for revolution, namely corruption, maladministration, excessive use of force, non-fulfillment of basic needs, undue privileges to foreigners, excessive immigrants, excessive size of the state, unscrupulous means to get political power, the exposure of misdeeds of rulers, and so on. In one line you have to write this, because you have to finish this question in 200 words. Then you have to write the other part of the question by changing the paragraph, because question is comment. So in question of comment, it's not that you are fully supporting this existing statement and accepting it as absolute truth. I remind you, you have to highlight the limitations of the existing statement. But first part is first, that is, you have to elaborate that statement. Then second part, that critical or limitation of this statement. What is the limitation of this statement? That all ordinary changes which Aristotle said is not qualified to be called revolution, although for Aristotle it was any change, that is change of rulers or change of form of government, number one. Number two, Aristotle neglects talent, only favor merit, while Plato favor talent. Desert, one should be treated the way or one deserves. So past deeds, past contribution, past excellence, they are also to be taken into account. For example, those soldiers who have worked in their young age for the state, they must be given social security support. So that what is the limitation that Aristotle talked about? The proportional equality, in which he talked about ability in terms of merit, not in terms of talent and desert or deserving. Moreover, you have to highlight the existing statement that it's not only inequality which causes revolution, there are so many other causes of revolution as well. It's not only general and particular causes highlighted by Aristotle which caused revolution, but there are other causes of revolution as well. For example, what we have seen that in various other revolutions, the reason was not only discontentment but the poor delivery, or the people wanted new system. So in this way, there is a limitation of the statement of Aristotle. Moreover, you have to also highlight the statement, the limitation of this statement, that inequality everywhere is the cause of revolution. That you have to highlight the limitation, and you have to comment your own comment. When your own views comes and which is critical, which shows the limitations of the existing statement. That Aristotle here is talking about only distributive justice, while many times lack of corrective justice means corrective justice state has to take, victim to get compensation or relief in proportion to the loss, an offender must be punished in proportion times, whereas there is nothing leading, there is no issue of distribution, but there is discontentment because the victim is not properly compensated and offender is not punished in proportion to the offense. So in this way you have to conclude that this statement is partly correct. However, there are limitations of this statement as well. So in this way you will be able to write the ideal answer. Let me clarify again those things which do's and don'ts. I would like to clarify that what you have not to do. Many times the students in exam hall, they start writing, and in the flow they forget the keyword and they start writing on Aristotle. That will be irrelevant. I repeatedly said that it's not that if you are writing unasked thing or irrelevant thing, then you will not be getting marks. You will be penalized for writing those things which has not been asked. So for writing those things, one is practice, another is understanding based on knowledge, and in comment is most strategic part. The question having comment, it's most strategic part. You have to highlight the limitations, you have to give your own views, and if possible in comment linking it with the present context, because at the end of the day it with present. So that is very important. 2004 years or 2500 years ago, Plato and Aristotle said and wrote so many books, and we are studying it in UPSC syllabus for what? There is relevance, there is application, there is, you have to comment in the way, and in this way you are you in comment part you can link it with the present. How? This is followed in most of the democratic most of the political systems of the world, that is including India. In Indian Constitution also, Article 14 is not discussing about equality before law, but also equal protection of law. Equality before law, equal protection of law. Equal protection of law. So first part is numerical equality and second part is proportional equality. That is more needy, like poor, women, differently abled people, SCs, STs, OBCs, minorities, they are getting more because they are more needy. They are beneficiary of positive discrimination, while more able also get more. It's not that only poor are getting subsidy. Sachin Tendulkar is also getting Bharat Ratna because of ability. Now ability can be in different terms, that for Plato it is desert or talent, while for Aristotle it is merit. So in this particular context, Aristotle's thought is closer to the modernity, and this is the reason why Aristotle is called father of political science. So these things you must be knowing, and in comment you can add this, but not in too much detail because you have word limit. So by this you can write comprehensive answer of this question. So I have already said that our approach in political science will be to first understand the given question, first understand the keywords, pick the keywords and what is explicitly mentioned and what is implied. As I said, in most of the political questions, there is direct or indirect involvement of the state, even if it is not being mentioned. So ultimately, when Aristotle is talking about distributive justice, distribution of what? Who will be distributing mainly? State would be playing central role in this distribution part. That proportional justice or proportional equality is to be maintained and promoted by whom? By the state. So I repeatedly say that state is implied in most of the political questions, so you have to mention this and role of this. In this particular question, it is also there. And also you have to clarify, I said that citizens, among citizens, because Aristotle's view on slavery and all others who have been large sections of the society which have been denied citizenship, is not talking about equality among all. Which is the difference part? Which is the comment part? That his equality, his proportional equality was narrowly confined among the citizens for which Aristotle gave very harsh condition and a handful of people only got citizenship. While in contrast, in present world, we have broad basis of citizenship and irrespective of caste, creed, race, religion, sex, gender, place, language, all citizens are treated equally, which is not the case with Aristotle. For example, Aristotle believed that non-Greeks were mentally inferior, so they were not to be conferred citizenship. Similarly, women, children, old age people, differently abled people, mentally retarded people, they were denied citizenship, which is not the case now. Similarly, he was very niggard in conferring citizenship, non-Greeks and those who are earning their livelihood by their own manual labor, they will be denied citizenship. Artisans, craftsmen, farmers, they will be denied citizenship. So his concept of proportional justice is narrow and was meant for handful of people who were citizens and not for all. This is how you have to elaborate on this statement. So now you have ample material, now you have ample things, now we have discussed in detail, and now you will be able to write the answer. Even then, if you write yourself, different students will have different problems. Some students will have the problem in elaborating an idea. Some students will have problem in writing compact answer, which is very common. Why I have seen that compact and lucid answer is very much required. Word limit is very important. If it is being asked in 200 words, better to write in 190, 195 words rather than 220 words. Why? The moment you breach the word limit in earlier question, the availability of time in penultimate or last question would be compromised. So you have to maintain a balance, which is very important. So with the passage of time, initially you should not be getting pressurized, that initially you may write in 250 words or 280 words. Don't worry, but don't stop writing, don't give up. Gradually you will learn the art of writing compact answer. When you have more command over language, when you are writing more things in a lucid manner, when you have more understanding, once you have core concepts and demand of the question is understood, then with the passage of time you will tend towards perfection. But all these theory part that I am saying will not be enough without your practice yourself and expert evaluation. Expert evaluation, what I say that every writer from his perspective or her perspective will think that whatever I have written is ideal, perfect. There is no scope of improvisation. It's all correct. But when elder perspective comes, when certain additions, exclusion, inclusions come, then you take corrective measures, then you improvise, then further scope of improvisation is there and maximization of marks, because ultimately India is not having grading system, India is having exam system. So you have to develop exam oriented approach, otherwise your all knowledge will be going in vain unless you sharpen exam oriented approach. With this I wind up this class, and in next class we will be discussing another question. So that's it. Thank you. कितना मिनट हुआ?